Alright. Welcome to Sideboardmtg. It's Sunday, SubSunday. That's right, we've got the 3 top decks that you guys voted for over on the Sideboardmtg subreddit, where they're pretty sweet. We got a Dimir Control deck, we have a Simic Ramp deck, and then we got this For the Glory thing here by one of our moderators, Madness. This is a Bant Finale of Glory, right? I'm interested to see if we can cast this for just $1 billion, right? I mean, I doubt that we'll ever get to cast it for X equals 10 or more, but the card's pretty sweet. I mean, when you got Teferi Time Raveler, you can cast this thing at instant speed. We can do some stuff. We can end up with a ridiculous amount of mana with Incubation Druid. We've got, Growth Spiral for a little bit of ramp. We've got Wilderness Reclamation to, possibly actually cast Finale of Glory at our end step. Either way, looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. The Simic Ramp deck, using a lot of the same cards, only this one's more of a Nissa deck, right? So, we're trying to use Incubation Druid and Land of War Elves along with a Boreal Grazer. Personally, I've been trying a Boreal Grazer in a lot of different decks lately that normally run Land of War Elves, and I'm finding that any deck that doesn't have the Explore package just doesn't have the mana, or it doesn't have the lands in hand to be able to truly abuse a Boreal Grazer. But either way, a 0-3 can sometimes be a lot better in the late game than with Reach than a 1-1 when you just don't need the mana. So those are some things going on there. We've also got Wayward Swordtooth, also kind of the same thing with the Boreal Grazer. If you don't have some ways to get some more lands, then it's going to be difficult. We do have Nissa's Triumph, which can get us a ton of lands. I mean, we've got 4 copies of Nissa. We've got some Vivian Reeds to get some cards. We have Biogenic Ooze, Beast Whisperer. This is going to be fun, guys. Even Evolutionary Sage, or Evolution Sage, which, whenever a land enters the battlefield, proliferate. So landfall, proliferate seems pretty good. As far as the Dimir Control deck goes, it's a pretty sweet little brew too. As far as powerhouse cards in the deck, Liliana, Dreadhorde General, along with Enter the God Eternals. Now, Amass is pretty sweet here. So Angrath shows up. I mean, we are going to be casting him with black mana, but that's fine, right? Like, it doesn't matter. We got God Eternal Kefnet to give us a little, a little bit of extra usage out of our, instants and sorceries when we top those. And there's a good chance we will. A lot of Amass cards here with cards like Lazotep Plating. We've got Aid the Fallen, so that we can return some things from our graveyard to our hand. We have the little combo of Fountain of Renewal along with Dreadhorde Invasion, so we're never actually ticking down. The combo's okay. I mean, it makes sure that you're not going to actually die from your Dreadhorde Invasion, so you can just keep pushing on into the late game, because I've actually forced some opponents to kill themselves with Dreadhorde Invasion by just making sure they can never get the 6 power on their zombie. So yeah, that's a thing. Also, along with some Saheeli Raz and Thief of Sanity, Gleaming Overseers showing up in this particular deck. It's not that bad. I mean, zombie tokens you control have Hexproof and Menace. That's a thing, right? And then creatures you control have Menace with the Angrath. So yeah, looks like we've got some pretty sweet action. If we come up against some control decks wanting to draw a lot of cards, we've got cards like Narset and things in the sideboard. Unmoored Ego. It is only a 14-card sideboard, so I'm really curious at what the last card would be. I am just going to throw in a Duress to fill the gap. It looks like without actually having to put a lot more thought in it, that Duress would be an acceptable card. Maybe we should want to go with something else, but if chat shows up and says, hey, let's do this, we might play with that instead. But for now, it's going to be Duress. Liliana's Triumph. I'm actually really liking this card, especially if you have a Liliana. You can get a lot of value. So those are the 3 decks. We're going to start out with Madness's deck. I like this one. This one's, I really want to cast an instant speed Finale of Glory. So deck looks pretty sweet. We're going to jump into some gameplay with it, and hope you guys enjoy. How is everyone tonight? I did just try to kind of fly through those deck techs real quick because I did get started a little bit late tonight, and I want to get the games in, and I wanted you know, to have some fun here. So I guess while we're waiting on an opponent and to get started, I do the shameless pitches, right? Like, subscribe, do the other things, but most importantly, if you want to get in on SubSunday, go over to the Sideboardmtg SubReddit, post your decks, and vote on some decks, right? Post a deck, vote on some decks, go from there. Madness, I know you're here in chat. Would you keep this hand? Would you keep 6 lands and Hydroid Crescent? It's just not enough action, right? You kind of have to pitch something with like just 0 action. Although, if we just top deck gas off the top of the library, we're always going to be able to play it. Man, I tell you what, I'll wait on you. I will tell the opponent, good luck. Have fun. Oh, Arena, you need a chat system. You need this, Arena. I need to be able to talk to my opponents. I need to be able to ask them why they run a particular card. I need to be able to communicate. We need to be able to share information. Oh, alright, I'm going to mulligan. Temple Garden, I think I can put that on the bottom as well. So if we go with a breeding pool right off the bat, I guess I could have went with the Temple Garden now that I drew a Hinterland Harbor. If we top deck something that needs white, then I'll just pay for it. But otherwise, I'll play the Hinterland Harbor. We'll get the Incubation Druid rolling, and we'll go from there. Bond of Flourishing. I'll turn the music down a little bit. Is it a little loud? Is the music a little loud? It's the only card you think deserves to be on, be banned in Standard. Oh, what deserves to be? What did I miss? Wilderness Reclamation is broken. But doesn't Teferi just shut it down? Right? I mean, if they have a Teferi, then, you know. Growth Spiral draws us a card and ramps us 1 turn. So I'm going to go with the Growth Spiral. Yes, this puts a creature down on the battlefield, but it also means we're tapped out. You can download and play that song for free. You talking about, oh, yours. Sweet. Well, I will add it to the playlist for sure. And I definitely might cut a segment out for my my next intro or project that I play around with. We're gonna let this enter tapped. So this turn we can Incubation Druid and Growth Spiral and get our last. Yeah, I like this. This is fine. I mean, I could Merfolk Branchwalker here to try to get in, you know, a little bit more of a threat. I assume this is the steel deck. Maybe it's not with the Nissa's Triumph. Alright, so let's give him a heart attack. Oh, nope, you're not getting countered. So now we can go Wild Growth Walker into Jade Light Ranger for some good value. I mean, he's got Vigilance, so I mean he gets to get in for that free damage. I could just activate and swing, right? So we can go Sun Petal Grove here. I think we get more if we go this route. Let's see what happens. This is possibly the wrong play. I'm going to leave it on top, and then I'm going to put it in the graveyard. Just because I want my extra counters. This is just it. The bigger the Jade Light feels important here. At least we've got a Wild Growth Walker, so if he does want to start using his Nissa, we can start eating lands and things. So that's a plus. But he's got 6 cards. We're down to 1 card. Ugh. Nissa, she's brutal. We get to play with her in just a little bit. Tier 1 jank, it might be more of a problem if there wasn't so much enchantment hate out there currently. Yeah. I mean, even Grixis is popping enchantments right now with Ugin, so I mean, it's a thing, man. You're gonna start brewing up, testing, and tweaking Temur Super Friends this week. Rocker, I'm interested to see where you go with Temur Super Friends. Dovin can be played in that deck. Just want to point that out. Dovin can be played in the deck. You could end up playing Ashiok if you wanted to. Yeah, we're in trouble here. Maybe just a little bit. Maybe not a ton, but maybe just a little bit of trouble. I guess he doesn't swing with the lands. What do we have in this deck to get out of this madness? The fact that Grixis has something to deal with enchantments is a little disgusting. It is. Kenneth Ryan! Hey y'all, how are you, sir? By the time you get Ugin out, Reclamation is already a problem. No. Reclamation is not the problem. It's what people can do with Reclamation that is the problem. If I go Wild Growth here, I guess we just build like the best board state we possibly can. The reason I didn't activate is because if I would have activated, it would have had 3 additional mana, but it wouldn't have been enough to play everything in my hand. I guess I have to pass. I mean, we know we've got another Explorer coming up. We have something to help us in the sideboard, but this is going to be a little uphill. Alright, well, I mean, we can still try to battle it. I mean, if he starts turning that Hydroid Caressus sideways, that's going to open up a nice little window for us. I mean, we've got a 2/4 Wild Growth Walker that can block a land. We've got a 4/6 that can block a land, and I would trade a Merfolk Branch Walker. The 5/5 doesn't 100% scare me either. Incubation Druid's really good against Nissa, just because like once you finally activate, you're 3/5. So you know that's a thing. Did I have enough mana there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We would have had 1 left over. We would have been able to create 3. Damn it! I did have enough. Didn't do math. Ouch! 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 Opponent. Nissa just taking off with it. You're even having to debate this. Let's keep it light. You're not even having to debate this. At work, you'll watch this in the morning. Alright, sir. You take care, Mr. Ryan. Thanks for stopping in, or just sit back and enjoy with silence, whichever one. Alright, so I guess we Branch Walker. Look for something else. We got a land. We gain 6 more life. I mean, the gaining 6 life is a thing. I didn't have to play that land, but I will. If we hit a finale, we're going to be alright. So we just kind of need to hang in there. If we do hit the finale, we'll have something pretty nice. Make some 4/4 angels. What does the finale do again? How is it worded exactly? Alright, so create X 2/2 white soldier creature tokens with vigilance. If X is 10 or more, also create X 4/4 white. Also create X 4/4 white angel. So each one of those soldiers has an angel watching over them. Oh, he got his finale before we got our finale, and his finale is for 10, which means That's right. That's what that means. I'm glad you all understand what that means. Maybe the Explorer package wasn't the right call for this deck. He was just afraid of it caving too easily to control. I don't. I mean, these things got trampled, man. I think we go to the next game, right? Oof, we did. Yeah, we did. We did. Did. All right. Interested? I'm interested. I'm interested. What am I not interested in? Wilderness Reclamations and Finale of Glory. It's actually what I'm not interested in. Ay. So if we do bring in all the answers for Vivi or for Nissa, right? Deputy of Detentions, Dovin's Vetoes, and Ixalan's Bindings and such. If we do bring those in, we still need to take one card out. The one card out would be Growth Spiral. Let's say we got rid of all of that type of ramp and just went mid-range. Sure. I mean, Knight of Autumn might be a thing, but, you know, you didn't mean that the Explorer package beats Control, that just that a single win con isn't great against Control. You're correct. The Explorer package is a secondary win con, though, right? I mean, like, you can just beat people to death with it. I think he's going to be fairly slow, so I am going to keep this hand. The hand's a little bit weak, but every land will come in on tap. We can set back, make sure that we stop a Nissa or a Vivian or something of that nature. Looks like we're going to be able to maintain tempo here, though. Wait, did you accidentally build a sort of transport? Yeah, it looks like you can just sideboard out your little combo. Take the ramp and everything else out and just go straight into a mid-range deck. And that's what I seen, and that's the route I kind of want to take. I'm going to let him have this. I'm not going to fight over it, even though he gains 3 life. He got a forced, so okay. I do think that we just slam a Teferi and just get the uptick going on Teferi. Next turn's not the turn I'm worried about, like a Vivian or something like that coming down, so we've got a moment. That's hilarious. You're not even mad. It looked like a straight smooth in and out. So the only alternative would be, you know, if you wanted to gain some life, or if you were going against like red deck, you'd probably take out the Land of War Elves and bring in the 4 Knights of Autumn, and that would give you the opportunity to either have some big creatures or to pop some frenzies or gain some life. Whereas Land of War Elves really weak in that matchup because of the Goblin Chain Whirlers and things like that. So we get the opportunity to draw a card here. So I am going to down tick. And I'm going to play the Shalai. Shalai will be a good beater. He'll either have to answer this right now, or we'll be able to sit back on, Teferi and things of that nature. Like, he has to answer the Shalai. Like, we've already applied protection now, so. Growth Spiral, that's fine. Like, if he's trying to get into the... Oh, this could be a thing. He can start ramping this up. A little coffee down the wrong pipe. Oh, wow. And just like Ixalan's Binding is, nah, we won't do that. I can, however, just play a Wild Growth Walker and an Elf. And this means the Llanowar Elf can't attack us. I could have tapped down and went ahead and played the Merfolk Branchwalker, but I'm not getting in for that extra damage this turn anyway. It gives me a good card for next turn. I don't know. I think I'm going to just uptick Teferi again, depending on what the opponent has. Like, I'm hoping that I get to counter like a Nissa or something like that here. You wish you could take credit for doing that. There's a lot of jank decks that do that, though, you know, where you go, hey, this is a little bit jank, but we're gonna try this or that or something else, you know. And then you just have like this really powerful sideboard, you know, that you just get to shift gears and go in a completely another direction. Like, we're one land from being able to sit back and pretend we're going to do things. I'm just passing. We'll stop at his end step, and we'll put a counter on everything we control, and then we're applying even more pressure, depending on what he plays here. This could just be, oh wow, what is this? I am a bit curious. Hydroid Crassus for 1,000,000. Is that what we're working with? Crassus for 1,000,000 for 4. All right, so he's going to draw 2, gain 2. That's fine. That's a perfect target to put Ixalan's Binding on. I'm highly liable here. I guess I didn't have to pay the 2 life for that. I could have used the elf, right? Pooey. Yeah, the Crassus is not near as scary anymore. Oh, ain't that lovely. I'm going to return the Llanowar Elf and draw a card. Just see what else we've got going on. Need to save that white. Like, if I am going to leave up any mana, I need to continue to bluff Wind's Veto. Hydroid Crassus down. Hydroid down. And then we'll just crash in for a little bit. Almost 1,000,000. I mean, it's 9. Or 8. It's not nothing, you know. Is it worth it to bluff? I mean, if he destroys this, the Hydroid Crassus is dead, right? Alright, we'll go with the Incubation Druid. I'm not going to bluff the Dovin's Veto here. Welcome to your Bant deck. You accidentally did a thing with its sideboard. A thing that's working. So far it's working. I mean, we could get behind, but right now we're ahead. Well ahead. Well ahead. Sure. Like, something tells me I don't even let this I don't even let this land hit Teferi. A Boreal Grazer. Hey, I mean, if his big play was a Boreal Grazer here, I like it. Replay the Llanowar Elf. Make a land into a dude. Alright, Hinterland Harbor. Now, dude, not a forest though. He will not get additional mana off of it. Did not attack. Even though it's got vigilance, he did not attack. I am perplexed. Oh, now we get a Dovin's Veto. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're just going to take Nissa, right? So now that Nissa has been taken, I will say no with that. So we're still holding up the Dovin's Veto, but we're not telegraphing that, hey, I'm holding a Dovin's Veto. Like, I was purposely tapping out my white mana. I have the Incubation Druid to actually produce the white mana if I need to, so I leave open blue and the Incubation Druid, and then we can kind of, you know, bluff the Dovin's Veto from there. Looks like we're going to be going into game 3. What? This deck didn't play those cards last game. So yeah, like, this would just be if I was playing against red deck and I wanted to make that shift, I would probably just take out the Land of Werewolves, bring in the Knights of Autumn, and then just go ham that direction. Which may not be that bad this game either. Just food for thought. What I am going to do though, because that's the game plan of this deck, is I am going to take out one of those Land of Werewolves on the draw here. I'm going to bring him back in one of these Finale of Glories, just in case. Just in case we get a chance to cast it, right? Straight Token to Straight Token 2 starring Liam Neeson's. Liam Neeson. He's a monster, right? Alright, we can't keep this hand. This is more keepable. Hallowed Fountain, do I want that? Does that take me all the way? I think I can get another one. I think I can get another between now and then, right? We have the double green we need for the J-Light Ranger. Right, now we've got a Merfolk Branchwalker, so turn 2 we go Branchwalker into J-Light, we start applying pressure. Alright, because this is not pressure. And then if he turn 3, or if he plays a creature, then we will, oh, see, this is fine, right? If he plays a creature, we get to follow up with a Teferi, set him back on the tempo. I'm going to put that in the grave. We've got a Shalai. I'm not 100% if he's the thief deck, though. Like, is he got the mass manipulation? Is he trying to steal our creatures? Look at the Bronzodons. Look at the Bronzodons. Alright. Well, I'm just going to play this Glacial Fortress. We're going to draw a card here. Set old Bronte back to the hand. Get us another card. Get a little deeper in our deck so we can get a little more gas. We'll get in for 3 here, and then next turn we can drop a Shalai, and that'll protect us from Brontodon. What decks are we playing tonight, Sir Eccles? Well, we've got this Bant Fun Stuff deck. It's a Finale of Glory deck. Although we've kind of shifted gears at this point, and we're not really Finale of Glorying it. But we've got this Bant deck, we've got a Simic Ramp deck, and then we have what was the other one? Oh, chat, help me. They're in the description box below if you want to check. So Bant for Glory, Finale of Glory, and then, dear goodness, Dimir Control. That's it. Dimir Control, right? That amassing control with Dimir. 3 cards in hand. We know one of them is a Brontodon, so he's actually took a lot of time off here to be able to. Wow. All right. So yeah, I'm gonna come out with Schley. Just play some Schley. Come out with Schley, voice of plenty here. Oh, this is what? Big Crassus. Come on, let me get Ixalan's Binding. No, Ixalan's Binding off the top would be fine. Right? That's not it. That's not it. Wild Growth Walker. I think we can go to the graveyard with that. We'll leave the Hydroid Crassus on top. We'll come in tapped here. So now we're left with an option, right? Like to save to Fairy or not to save to Fairy. The question is that. Looks like next turn we're going to be casting Crassus for 4. So we'll get a 4/4 Crassus, and we'll get Crassus for 4. We'll draw a couple cards. It's not horrible. I could also just start plussing with Schley. Like, alright, so if we let Teferi just take the hit, right? And then next turn we just play a land and plus Schley. How are we looking there, right? Like that's not a horrible set of lines. So you guess Dev is streaming his own decks. You just watched him play for the first time. Yeah, that's actually the second time I've seen Dev play. He mentioned in the comments he made a couple mistakes and stuff, and it is edited a little bit, but that's just how a lot of people do their gameplay. A lot of people edit their gameplay. I call a lot of things punts that other people don't call punts, which is why you guys are constantly seeing me make punt after punt after punt, because I call it a punt if I play the wrong land, even if it doesn't end up affecting the course of the game. It was still the wrong play to make, just because of habit. You're supposed to play with good habits, and if I don't play with good habits, I'm just gonna take this. I doubt he snaps off a block. He did. He did snap off some blocks. Well, this doesn't cost me a card. Right? Like, that doesn't cost me a card, and we're one more play from making Schley able to block Hydroid Crassus. Yeah, he had on board kill for a couple turns. Talking about like if he would have just like, there was a couple different ways he could have killed. His deck was really the deck was really powerful, and he had a couple different options there. Like he could have killed with like a few different options. He had a couple different ways to do some killing there, and but I like the flare that he went for in that particular scenario. He went for He went for a Chandra ultimate, right? Like, granted, I miss things like that all the time, though. I really do. Like, sometimes you're so focused on, okay, let's deal with the board, and you miss. Oh yeah, if I down tick Karn, grab shock, I can just lightning strike and shock him, right? So I mean, ooh. So how do you protect your Nisa? Did he just let Nissa get killed? I'm gonna allow this trade. Blue, green. And X is currently 5. That'll give us a 5/5. We'll draw a couple cards. I was actually going to just pump and then, next turn do it for 6, so we draw 3 cards. Getting that extra card, but whatever. Activating, yes. Okay, so he also had that play where he could activate Skargan Hellkite and burn and stuff like that. But yeah, he went for the entertainment, and you can't knock him for trying to entertain us as we watch. Come on, Deb's great, and I like that he's playing some Magic Force. I'm playing this pre-combat. Now we get to sit back with 3 cards in hand, a bunch of mana open. We don't have to do anything here. I will say, Madness, that right now with the cards that are currently being played, if you were going to play this deck that you've got built, I think you need a Tristani in it somewhere. There's a lot of these Simic Thief decks that are basically trying to take your cards. They want your cards. And alright, so we just stopped 3 damage here, that's all. Now he could steal Shalai here, and if he does, and we're in a little bit of a bad situation. That's a thing. Branchwalker, I'll go Graveyard. We will put that Lion's Binding right there on the top where it belongs. We will also play another land. I mean, missing lethal is not hard to do, guys. I mean, people miss lethal all the time. But we didn't, because we did math. Math's a beautiful thing. Taking them to axes. Madness! After transformation, man. Love this deck. This deck is sweet! The accidental transformation. Turns out, you do have a great set of 60 amongst the 75. I do think that it's kind of fun to try to go for. Would you quit bringing up? All right, to try to go for the Finale of Glory. Finale of Glory is a pretty cool card. I didn't realize it said also create the 4/4 Angels. So I get where you're going with the Wilderness Reclamation and the Finale of Glory. It does seem like you're kind of all in on on Finale of Glory here because you don't have a lot of things to do with Wilderness Reclamation if you don't count Incubation Druid. There's like pretty much nothing else you can do. I mean, you could tap out on your turn and then maybe play a Growth Spiral on their turn or something, but I'm not actually finding that you got enough draw to make good use out of Wilderness Reclamation. So for that reason, I'm not fond of this particular Wilderness Reclamation deck. However, if you handed me this and said, here's FNM, probably wouldn't be too upset, just because you picked a really solid sideboard to be able to work in here. Shalai is pretty decent with Wilderness Reclamation. Okay, I'll give you that. I mean, you get to play on your turn, then untap, and then go there. So maybe 1 or 2 reclamations for Tristani then. Well, I agree that if you are going to start coming off of Wilderness Reclamations, you're getting to open up into some other cards, and then at that point you don't need so many Finale of Glories. Maybe you can want to like keep 1 or 2 Finale of Glories in the deck, and then maybe take out a couple Wilderness Reclamation or all the Wilderness Reclamation. Finale of Glory would still be pretty sweet. I think the card's really powerful, and I do think that you could probably get up to the mana to be able to do it for 10 in this deck fairly easy. Incubation Druid just gives you so much mana. There you go. Dragon Lord's on it right there. If you really want, more mana, I would cut. But then again, if you cut, say, Wilderness Reclamation altogether, added a couple Tristanis to the deck. So maybe 2 Tristani, and then you've got a couple more slots that you could throw a couple other pieces into. Like at that point, you're the Bant deck, right? Like those extra slots would probably be Nissa for me. If you are going to keep Wilderness Reclamation though, and you're dead set on Wilderness Reclamation, Vivien is really good. Vivien, Champion of the Wilds, gives you the ability to cast at instant speed, so you can start playing creatures with all that mana. Like you're untapping, you're playing creatures on their turn. So I mean, there's some options there. Either way though, the 75 seemed pretty sweet. The fact that you can't top deck or sideboard into something you didn't put in the 75 in the first place. So the fact that we had the option to change the style, even though those might have just been, this card will be good for this situation, this card will be good for this situation, this card will be good for this situation, and then later you realize, oh, by the way, I can actually shift into this other strategy. That is normally like the foundation of a good deck, right? When things just happen to work out, like you got all the cards that you needed for a particular thing, and then things start to work out, and then you're like, wait a minute, I'm finding all of these extra little cool things that work along with the deck. That's usually the sign of a really good deck. So I'm gonna say keep working with it, man. I personally didn't like the Wilderness Reclamation deck without like something else to do at instant speed. Finale of Glory, I would have to play it a couple times and actually see if I could cast it. But I mean, if you're stuck on Finale of Glory, I don't think I'd be on a 4-up. So, but yeah, it was mostly just a concept. It was more thought out this time around, though, to the point to where you had some secret tech you didn't even know about. Secret tech even from the deck builder himself, right? That's some super secret tech right there. Well, then hopefully you're not mad at my sideboarding then. Other than that, I like this is a solid Bant list. It is. You have all of the good parts of Bant. I mean, you're on the incubation plan, but yet you're still on the Explorer plan. You didn't go overboard on the Explorer plan. We're not seeing other Explorer strategies in here. We're just the 12 card package of Wild Growth Walker with his friends Merfolk Branch Walker and Jade Light Ranger. Him and his entourage getting it done, or her. Is it her? Him? Her? Don't know. It's an elemental, right? So, hear me, stone, root, branch, be the fist of this land, turn back those who would trample upon your domain. Alright, cool. Let's go play some Simic Ramp, right? I think all elementals are yeah, okay, ambiguous. Okay. So I kind of talked about this deck just a little bit ago. You pulled a Jace. Nice, nice. We talked about this deck a little bit ago. I did not mention Neoform, so let's look at some of the things we could trade up into, right? If we have a Land of War Elves or an Arboreal Grazer, this is great because we can trade that into an Incubation Druid. If we have, Neoform, we can get rid of an Incubation Druid and trade up for an Evolution Sage or a Wayward Swordtooth. We can trade a Wayward Swordtooth for a Beast Whisper and a Beast Whisper for a Biogenic Ooze. We can trade a Nissa land for a Land of War Elf or a Grazer, and we can trade a Biogenic Ooze for a Carnage Tyrant, which can be traded for a Plaka Worm, which can be traded for an Enrace Forerunners. Hydroid Karasis can be traded in for Sage or Swordtooth. I don't think this is a Neoform deck. I just want to go ahead and slap that out there. I don't think this is a Neoform deck. Most of the things I just said that we could trade in are not things I would like to take off the battlefield. Very few worlds am I willing to give up my Incubation Druid, especially if I have had to sink some mana into it, to get up to an Evolution Sage or a Wayward Swordtooth. I would trade either of these in for a Beast Whisperer, but I would be hard pressed to trade the card advantage of Beast Whisperer in for Biogenic Ooze even. And if I had a Biogenic Ooze, I probably would not trade it in even for Carnage Tyrant, unless I could do it at instant speed, which we cannot do without Teferi. I'm afraid that I don't like some of my trades in this Neoform deck. Other than that, though, the deck's pretty sweet. So let's jump into it. I will say there's some Narset's Revivals in the sideboard that I have actually been seeing some people use. So looks like we get to see it in action. You have not tested this list. Well, I'm just making those comments off of a preliminary. Preliminary. Be Sean Connor in a battle against our old adversary. It's a preliminary here. Anyway, I haven't played the deck, so I'm making those comments about Neoform just off of thought, but game situation could completely change that. We can get a turn 2 Incubation Druid down here. I'm going to keep. Like, that alone is enough to make me want to keep. So, yeah, we can get a turn 2 Incubation and then possibly even a turn 3 Incubation Druid and then turn 4 Nissa. Yeah. Sounds like Nixon. Oh, tricky dicky. Sorry. We're in a game of chess against our old adversary. I'm horrible. You'll have to kill me first. What? Is this you? So we will get the Incubation Druid down here. The problem with Wayward Swordtooth is we're not going to have lands. Like, again, I'm finding that Arboreal Grazer and Wayward Swordtooth are almost non-playable in a non-explore package, right? So if you're not rocking the explore package, people are really doing this. We're gonna have a talk about this, guys. Like, I've done it. I've made people die to their Dreadhorde invasion, but I don't think it's typically worth it. If I had another land, we could play Wayward Swordtooth, play the land, play the other Incubation Druid. At least this is a forest. Um, so once I get Nissa down, I might actually be willing to trade a Neoform, or a Neoform, a Incubation Druid in for an Evolution Sage, because then all of a sudden our 3/3s become 4/4s, and like, so Evolution Sage seems like, good. No, that's Dragonheart. Quote Sean Connery said, "Oh, you'll have to. Oh, you'll have to kill me first." What was his name? Bowen. You'll have to kill me first, Bowen. Wait until you see the next two plays. They may be doing something here. Okay. Well, I'm gonna make some plays of my own. So she takes 3 here, right? No, it's got haste and vigilance. We have to attack with it, right? And then we can play Wayward Swordtooth. Or I could just leave it up and we just don't play anything. And then we have a blocker that can stop the army. Sure. And disclaimer before anyone gets that thought in their head, this ain't me. My name would be something Edgar, like Madness, something edgier. Oh, like something Edgar. Your name would be Edgar. Now I'm thinking of Men in Black. Yeah, he was wearing an Edgar suit, right? Edgier, like Madness or something doofy like that. Gotcha. All right. Like Sanctus. Is that? What does that mean? Sanctus Equitum? Is it prepare for peace? Prepare for war? I don't know. What is Sanctus Equitum in Latin? Chat, someone, Google. Sanctus. Oh, come on. Come on, kids. Get out of here with that. I kill you. I kill you, Gideon. They're gonna love it when I slam this placa worm in him. Placa. Sugar. Sugar, right? Yeah, the Edgar thing, right? Sugar. More sugar. And water. More. Yeah, that's it. You guys got me cracking up tonight. You don't know, but Kingdom Hearts taught you that. Oh man, Latin. This is so great. What? Scala ad Calum was Latin for city in the sky or something like that. Okay. He gets to proliferate here, which is a thing. When it deals combat damage to a player or a planeswalker, proliferate. The good news is she's still here. She's still alive. She's still doing things. Alright, so breeding pool. I think I'm going to say yes and pay the life for that. Let's go. Uno, dos. Untap 3, 4, 5. Alright, so if we 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We attack Gideon with everything. Alright, so we know we're doing this with the forest, right? Like, there's no line of play that we don't make that. And then if we can what? Pluck a worm? Oh, damn, I did mess up. Okay, so before I played the land, I was supposed to neoform into one of the incubation druids away into a thing, and then untap and have 4/4s, and then the 4/4s could have swung into Gideon. Dang it! Alright, alright, alright. So 4, 5, 6, 7. We just play our Plocka Worm. Plocka, plocka. I mean, do we trade a land for the army here? So we go Gideon. Gideon? Yeah, sure. And if he goes to block one, we just put it on a druid, right? I mean, that's going to slow him down a bit, and we can block Gideon. I mean, he's got the fountain doing things, but we do got Nissa. I won't mess up the neoform if we draw another land, though. I missed lethal? What? There was lethal there? How'd I miss lethal? Oh my, you're going to have to explain lethal there. You should just type and ask him what it means. You know what? You are right. Can't do that on Arena. Lincoln. Son. He mad. He's mad. It's bedtime. It's bedtime. It's 10:30. Little boys are supposed to be asleep. That is... Oh, Neoform, Plaka into N-Rays. Would that have been enough? Was that lethal? N-Rays only gives +2/+2, right? It would have been lethal on Gids. I mean, Gids is a 4/4. If this thing had first strike, that'd be pretty sweet, right? Because it would first strike, hit something, proliferate, and then all of your creatures would be bigger before they actually did damage. That would be pretty sweet. I'm actually interested in this card. Grateful Apparition. I mean, it's a 1/1 for 2, but it's got evasion, and when it hits, you start proliferating. We might have to play around with a proliferate deck. Like, there's some pretty sweet proliferate mechanics, and I've been dying to play with some other proliferate cards as anyway. So we'll see here. Hydroid Crussus. Alright, we didn't hit a land. Gideon. Like, I just want to kill Gideon. Yes, I know we could have upticked and done some stuff. We could have upticked and done some stuff. Alright, so if I do this, x equals 9. Yeah, I'm doing it. We're leaving one blue in our pool. We didn't draw land! Oh my... How did we not get a land out of that? How did we not get a land? Whatever. I'm going to go get the evolutionary sage just because I want it. I want the sage. Yes, I get we're probably... Yeah. No, the opponent did not respond to the question. He did not respond to the question. Sanctus Equatum. Sanctus Equatum. Alright. So, sideboard. I'm working on it. I'm working on it. Sanctus E what? I'll pull it up in a second. Let's sideboard real quick. Force landing. We can take down his flyers. Does he... Narset's reversal, copy target instant sorcery. What are we expecting here? Tatiova, finale of devastation. I don't want Wayward Swordtooth. I'll take like anything other than Wayward Swordtooth. I think it's Narset's reversal. What is he going to cast, though, right? Maybe it's Shapers. Crawl Harpooner? Negate? Well, I'm sure he's got something out of the sideboard, right? It's a 62 card deck. Alright, so Sanctus Equitum. It's a Final Fantasy reference. It's actually a Final Fantasy reference. The opponent scooped it up. He didn't want to play against someone who didn't know what his Final Fantasy reference was, okay? So, yeah. Maybe he just had a horrible hand. He's like, nope, I'm going to have to mulligan. Don't do that to yourselves, people. Like, don't. Like, if you jump into a game, whether it's in Arena or in Magic Online, whatever, if you're jumping into a game and you see you have a bad hand, don't scoop it up and then start another game, because you're going to be like, oh, my deck works great when you play it, but you're not going to think about all those times where you're actually just scooping and moving on to the next game. It's going to give you that false sense of this deck's better than it really is, and I'm just trying to make sure that doesn't happen. Trying to make sure that doesn't happen. The deck's pretty powerful, though. I'm not gonna lie, Dragon Lord. This feels powerful. All right, so now that we know it's a Final Fantasy reference, we can move on. Hashtag 10 words. What? You posted a deck list for next week's SubSunday. It's a mono white blades equipment list with Tishar, Ugin, and a few other shenanigans. And you've already posted it, Alba. Okay. Um, he might have posted too early. Um, yeah. So what I do is I filter by last in decks posted in the last week, and you can post them today. They will show up. Like if you post them today, if you just posted it, it should show up. But a lot of times, if you post it like early in the morning, and when I check, it won't show up. Like because it'll show up as it's that deck's more than a week old. The best time to post them is either during the time I'm streaming or after, like the next tomorrow. Tomorrow is usually the best. Like you're guaranteed in there. You just posted, you should be alright, Alba. You should be alright. It's good to test your deck in those bad scenarios so you can see how optimized it really is. Yes, MTG Barbecue. Are you still streaming? Are you still streaming MTG Barbecue? I know you were like deploying or something like that, and you were kind of coming and going, but you still trying to play some Magic on stream from time to time for your friends, or what's going on? Just curious. I know we've got a fledgling community of streamers going on here. Like we're almost a coalition of streamers. We should do that. All right, you get these hours. You get these hours. You get, and we just have streaming 24 hours a day of Magic. Someone would be online streaming 20. Yeah, and we're already there, right? You haven't in a while. You got back from deployment not long ago. Well, welcome back. I'm glad everything went well. You're in the Navy, right? I want to say you're in the Navy. Navy? Yeah, something like that. I don't remember, but either way, welcome back. Glad you're home. Glad the ship didn't sink or the desert didn't catch on fire or whatever your deployment consisted of. E6 air traffic controller. Well, thank you for everything you do there, Petty Officer. E6. That's Petty Officer First Class? What? You try to stream after Sideboardmtg sometimes, so at least we get some carryover. Yeah, well, I mean, don't let me affect what time you stream, man. I am way too unpredictable, and I'm liable to just like throw a stream up at any given time. Hey, as soon as I find a window where like my family's not needing me, I stream. I go play Magic. But there's usually some case where it's like, Daddy. Yep, First Class. You want to stream about how horrible this MPL is? Well, I'm wanting to find like, hey, there we go. Real quick break. Is any one of my subscribers, anyone out there that is watching this, are you a lawyer? Could you look at the Senator Hawley's Hawley, his Protecting Children Against Abusive Games Act, and tell me if you find anything in there you think would affect Magic Arena. It's up for public. You can Google it. If you're a lawyer and you want to look over this act that has been posted by Missouri Senator, yeah. Check that. Like, is that going to affect Arena? Man, I really want to know. I wish I knew more about the law and how things are worded and things like that. But they always use references that seem so vague to me that almost anything would like technically be blanketed under that. And when I read over it, it really looked like it was worded so vaguely that They could almost catch absolutely any video game with it. Now, do I think the law is going to pass? No. No, I do not. No, 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 no. It's a bipartisan law, or a bipartisan bill that is going to be that they're trying to pass into law, and like yes, it's getting support from both the Democrats and the Republicans, whatever. But EA is fighting it, from what I understand. EA has made some comments of, we'll be happy to show, people just how we're not the way they think we are, and they're trying to defend the loot boxes and things like that. And King Leo, he's like, I'm tired of waiting. We're playing. Thanks, King Leo. Appreciate it. Stream snippers. The stream sniper, King Leo, in the house. Maybe he's just somebody who plays Magic the same time we do, right? Anyway, I don't think it'll pass, because I think EA will stick enough money into it to keep this particular one from passing. But even so, it's got people looking in the direction of abusive video games and pay-to-win antics and premium subscriptions and hidden fees and things like that. I'm keeping it. We've got an arboreal grazer. If we get into anything, we can do some stuff. We're going with it. I'd do it, but you can't really motivate yourself to try. The watch count did just go up one, King Leo. We should say hello. He knows we're saying hello. I don't have to type it. He knows. He knows. We play King Leo a lot. But, I like what he's been doing with it lately. Lately, the only time we play against King Leo is when we don't have an opponent. And then he jumps on and he's like, look, we got some stale time, we got some dead air time. And he jumps in there and we play some Magic. So I'm game with it. I'm game for it. I guess that means if we're sitting around and we got 30 seconds or more of dead time, one of y'all wants to queue up and take on the stream, you can do so. What? This is like the same deck we just played. Oh, that's what it was. King Leo was like, let me show you a real Esper Knights deck. Hold on a minute. Let me show you how you're supposed to use that Gideon Blackblade. Don't know about all this proliferate stuff, but I'll show you how to use this Gideon Blackblade. Alright, I mean, if I'm Beast Whisperer here, right? We play Nissa next turn. And then we draw a card off the Incubation Druid. This is okay. This is okay. We take 3. We block the Gideon. So yeah, we chump block Gideon. Or not. Okay. Everything just went to hell in a handbasket. Including the handbasket. It went with it. I mean, the vigilance is real, right? So we make a dude. Use that mana to play Incubation Druid? I mean, I'm not swinging into a first striker, so, I mean, we're doing this now. And then we have to trade Incubation Druid to protect so that we have a Nissa so that we can cast, like, all the things next turn. Like, I would rather lose the Incubation Druid than my land at this point. Maybe that's wrong. We'll see where he points it. It's all at Nissa. You don't think MTG is pay to win at all? Having certain expensive cards does help, though. Yeah, but the thing is the way it was worded was they said that. Here, let's do this really quick. We'll play our Beast Whisperer. Oh, really? You're gonna just stop this? Sinister Sabotage? Whatever. So do I lose a creature here to be able to keep? Sure. We need a land. We need the land. Oh, whatever. So Magic follows one of those real fine lines of if it's pay to win or not. All right, so the way I seen it worded was anything that would give someone a paid advantage, right? They didn't say pay to win. It was an advantage over someone who did not spend money in the game. So and that advantage can be based off of time or can be based off of like just legit this helps beat this. This is all at her. I'm gonna take it. Getting a land off the top would be just crucial. And a veto. I'm scooping. Yeah, seems like the Dimir Control seems like what? Like more mid what? Seems like the Dimir Control seems like more mid-range. All right, so I'm not. What language are you speaking, James Clugston? Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon. Old Teferi, ruining things. That's what you're calling him. Nobody can stop me. I'm also calling Land of Worlds Diglett for now because Land of World Tribe is Dig Trio, right? When it evolves, there's 3 of them. So what do we bring in? I don't like your sideboard, Dragon Lord. Like what are these cards for? Like, so all right, I don't want this. What do I want to bring in? So this dude doesn't have flyers. He's got planeswalkers. So what do I want to bring in versus his planeswalkers? Like, Dragon Lord, do you got bring in Sanctuary? All right. So I bring in the 2 Sanctuaries. What else we bring? Probably a negate, right? This counters Dovin's veto. I want to bring it in too. And then we need to take out a couple cards. Take out the Arboreal Grazers. Go from there. Yeah, let's do that. Dev just uploaded a deck list. Turn 3 kill Naya aggro. Well, we're playing that. It's gonna be fun. Oh no, Mulligan. Alright, whatever. I'll leave that on top. I mean, we're a long way from getting getting that, and that's probably horrible to leave that on top, but whatever. Right, reversals don't counter a spell, they just put the spell back in your hand. So it says return that spell. Dovin's Veto says it can't be countered. Well, we're going to copy Dovin's Veto and then return it to its owner's hand. Alright, so here comes some Dreadhorde Invasion. I'm about to get this countered so quick, ain't I? This is gonna happen so fast. He's gonna snap off this veto. He's gonna break his veto off right in my. Oh, it's an absorb. Broke it off in me. Yeah. Oh, it's brutal. It's so brutal. Ouch. It's like a pick in the ribs, man. It just snaps it off. Counter the ooze. Counter the ooze. Don't counter the ooze. I like that. He didn't counter the ooze. Smack him for one. Pass the turn. Cast down. Oh, you piece of. Whatever. Whatever, opponent. You'll have to look at the list and see if you can build that one on Arena. Turn 3. What do we gotta do to be able to do kill someone in turn 3? Deb's thumbnail's been interesting this week. Hey, you gotta make changes, right? You gotta change it up. I think Deb's playing around with some stuff, and that's awesome. So good for him. All right, we'll get some +1/1 counter stuff down. Just play this for 4. At least we draw 2 cards, even if he counters it. Smack him for 2 and pass. I mean, the 4/4 Hydroid Crassus is still a threat that has to be answered. Mortify, that'll do it. That will get her done. Now we ain't got nothing with a +1/1 counter, so this Evolutionary Sage is useless. Yep. Oh my goodness. Sabotage. I could have countered the sabotage. We could have countered the sabotage, but we did molt. I mean, I wasn't going to get any major value out of that thing anyway. All right. I mean, we gained 7. He could cast it down here, though. I mean, if he's got cast downs, I should have swung 2. Yeah, should have swung 2 there. Mortify. So now he's got lifelink. I was really hoping to be able to block him. I'm just going to take the hit. Alright, well that changes things a considerable amount. I mean, I'm not getting much here, right? We're going to get an incubation druid. Again, Neoform doesn't seem like it belongs here. Yeah, go ahead and deleted message. Why was that deleted? That's the... This is the actual bill. I want that. Yeah, I want that scene. This is the bill we were conversating about, right? HollySenate.gov site, right? Looks like it's aimed at games for minors. Yes, but it's worded so vaguely that any game that could potentially be aimed at minors with or without rating could fall victim to the do we negate this, or do we let this happen? Probably shouldn't have negated that. It should be up there. You guys should be able to see it. Can you not see it? Like, I've got it. This is the actual bill. I've got it up there. Like, I can see it over on screen. It's like right in here. We're doing a YouTube redirect. Here, if any of you want to like review this bill, I'll repost it. There we go. So that's the bill that could be affecting gaming as we know it. Whether or not it really will, I don't know. We can, but it's easier to just have a link to click on. Okay, so I reposted it, so you guys got the link. So you guys, like, when I click view like that, even though y'all can see it now, you can't actually, yeah. Section 2, paragraph 7 is where we need to read. We may take a moment. We're dead here, guys. I mean, I can start sticking critters in front of this. You would like to know what I would change? We'll look. For one, we're having a hard time keeping cards in our hand, right? Like, at no point can I remember that we were stocked with cards and continuing to get more good cards. Right, this is a good start, though, right? So now we got a billion mana that we can do things with. So attack to fairy, attack to fairy. Activate the ability. Now he needs to... Yeah, we'll continue. We'll lose some mana here. So, Hero of Dominaria. A little bit of pressure on him. And yes, you know the sideboard. But, Dragon Lord, I'm so lost, man. Alright, we're dead here. We are dead here. Section 2, paragraph 8. At the end of stream tonight, we may go over this a little bit. So if you guys want to like look over the bill or anything, again, I'm not a lawyer, so I don't 100% know. Section 2, paragraph 8. So is this B, exclusion? Um, yeah. Digital game distribution. I technically fall under digital game distribution, I guess. The term digital game distribution means a person that, for commercial purposes, in interstate or foreign commerce, distributes an interactive digital entertainment product over an online platform for over 1,000 users annually. Yeah, that's me. Yeah, we're dead here. We're done. Um, I'm probably not in the right section here. All right. Well, that was two games with it, Dragon Horde. All right. So if I was to cut Neoform, the first thing I would want to stick in the place of Neoform would be like the Wild Growth Walker package, which I know you're not going to want to get in on that. Um, and the Wild Growth Walker package is only because you're on the Arboreal Grazer Wayward Swordtooth package. If you got if you're going to keep Wayward Swordtooth and Arboreal Grazer, I think that you need some like Merfolk Branch Walkers at the very minimum, something like that to be able to put some extra lands in your hand. Otherwise, you're just not going to regularly get usage out of these. Otherwise, get rid of the Arboreal Grazers altogether. Throw you some more Land of War Elves. Get rid of the Wayward Swordtooth. It's fun. It's cute. Neoform is not exactly what you're looking for. If you want to have some fun with Neoform, just throw you a Vanasphere in there. One Vanasphere can do the job of multiple Neoforms. And no, you're not going to get the +1/+1 counter on it, which is kind of what you want for Evolutionary Sage, because you can Neoform, you get the extra counter, you get to Evolutionary Sage, you get to go from there. That sort of thing. I can see that. But as soon as you start like chomping some of the extras out of the deck, you end up with 8 slots here that could easily give you room for Growth Chamber Guardian, which will keep putting cards in your hand. You could easily get, like, honestly, you get rid of this stuff, put that Blockworm in the sideboard. Enraged Forerunners is fun, whatever. I probably wouldn't run Finale of Devastation or Enraged Forerunners, but you're looking like really throw Wild Growth Walkers, Merfolk Branch Walkers, and Jadelight Rangers in the deck, which makes you that other deck that everyone's playing, right? That's like tier 1, tier 1.5 ish. So there's that. I mean, or you can go the other Value Town route with the Growth Chamber Guardians, and you get to run more Biogenic Ooze. And if you are going to go that route, then I would go Growth Chamber Guardian, and I would go even more Mana Dorks by adding Paradise Druids, right? So I would end up with like Paradise Druid, Growth Chamber Guardian in my 2-drop slot. That'd give you 8 more cards. With 8 more cards, it leaves you 5 additional slots the way we currently have the deck. The 5 additional slots, I mean, you could put anything 5 converted mana cost and under, right? I would not get up on that top end. You'd have a ton of mana to be able to do things with, your Hydroid Crassuses and things like that. Just a ridiculous amount of mana, which, if you're going to keep the Finale of Devastation in, then keep the Enraged Forerunners in. Block-a-Worm, it's cool when you're wanting to go against, like, red deck and things like that, but I don't think we really need it here. So either way, man, watching this gives us an advantage. Yeah, but you're not paying. You don't have to pay to watch me. Anyone can watch me for free. That's the thing. A paid advantage. Okay, so my argument on Magic the Gathering being pay to win, all right? If I don't pay anything to play Magic the Gathering, then I probably don't have any cards. So if we say we're talking about arena only and I pay absolutely nothing, and me and a guy who spends $500 on Magic cards both start the Mythic race at the same time, right? Which is trying to get to end game content. That is the purpose. You want to be able to get to that Mythic championship. You want to be able to get to Mythic. That is the goal, right? That is end game. If I pay $0 to start doing that, do you think that the deck that I'm going to be able to build in my first 24 hours will be as powerful as the deck that he is going to be able to build in his first 24 hours? And if you then take and say, if the same person did this, the exact same person, meaning the same person with the exact same skill level, was playing Magic the Gathering in these two different scenarios. So you take skill out of it, because we do know that there's some skill involved with Magic, right? So at the same skill level is playing with the free-to-play deck that he got on day one versus the guy who bought mid-range on day one. Do you think that at the end of day one, the guy who was Bant mid-range would be further into, or the guy playing it would be further into his Mythic Championship than the guy who paid nothing? That's pay to win, guys. I don't know any other way to look at that. The man who paid has the better deck, has the better odds. If he played 100 games that day, free to play, he's going to have certain odds at winning. If he played 100 games with a top tier deck, he's going to have better odds at winning. Therefore, paying for a top tier deck is pay to win. I don't know any I don't see how anyone could ever say that Magic's not pay to win. Like, I can't see a valid argument for Magic not being pay to win. The only valid argument is, yes, I can give that guy a $1,000 deck, and I can give Reed Duke a $10 deck, and there's a good chance that Reed Duke can beat the guy with the $1,000 deck. Yeah, because skill is involved in our game. But when you put the exact same skill level and put different decks in the same hands of people with the exact same skill level, you're going to see the more expensive, the more powerful deck do better. The reasons decks are expensive is because there's a finite amount of these cards out there, and people want those cards because those cards are more powerful than other cards. We know this. We're Magic players. We know this. It does give a paying player a time advantage. I think Arena handles this well, though. You can build a great collection without paying. Yes, but because of the time advantage, it does fall into this category where it is pay to win, and that worries me. Okay? Like, you cannot argue that it is not pay to win. Your time is valuable. The person who paid gets to do more with his amount of time than the person who did not, right? All right. That's going to be my argument on pay to win. I 100% believe that it wouldn't take much of a lawyer to prove that Magic is a pay to win game, and it's probably going to fall under this scenario. Second, they're going to see the gems as a predatory system, right? We know that if you buy $20 worth of gems and then you go change that into the equivalent amount of packs, and once you get into an equivalent amount of packs, you are still going to be left with some gems, and then therefore needing to make yet another purchase in order to spend your gems fully. Since you have to make a second purchase in order to spend your gems, therefore it is predatory marketing. We know this. This is how it works. This is how it works, guys. That is the system. I'm not saying that it's necessarily bad. I'm not saying I necessarily agree with the bill. I don't really care. What I do care about is Magic going to be hurt because of this? That worries me, right? I don't like anything hurting my game. Let's get that right, Okay? I don't want nothing to hurt Magic. Magic's been around for a long time. I like Magic. I was worried about Arena when Arena first came out because I was worried that Arena would hurt things. Are we there? We got another deck to play, ladies and gentlemen. Alright. Real quick, finishing up on this deck. I'd probably go Paradise Druid, Incubation Druid. Maybe another Biogenic Ooze. Biogenic Ooze is broken, dude. Like, that card get away from you real quick, especially when you can play it and start making, like with all of that ramp, you'd be able to play it and you would start making your tokens almost immediately. And I think that would be be pretty good. So yeah. But yeah, I mean, you could leave in the finale, like a single finale. You could leave in the Enraged Forerunners, the Carnage Tyrants, throw in another Biogenic Ooze, get that Paradise Druid and those Growth Chamber Guardians in here. You probably got a wicked ass deck, dude. Like straight up, dude. Straight up. All right. You would love to debate this. I don't. I look forward to the comment section on this very little. This segment, I look forward to this comment section. I don't think the things I just said are very debatable, though. Like there's not a lot of room for like that. Those are cold hard facts, man. Like I know for a fact that if I play free versus if I pay and get Bant or get a top tier deck of that particular season, whichever season it is, then I have a time advantage. I have a better percentage. We know that certain decks have a better win rate percentage than others. So, yeah. Absolutely. Tier 1 Jank says, everything Eric said is true. However, I don't consider something with this high of a degree of variance due to luck and skill pay to win. You're not saying it's a valid legal argument, just opinion. And that's why we play Magic, right? Because there is that skill line in there, right? But when you set the skill aside, the person who paid will win more than the person who did not pay. And therefore it is pay to win. And that part is, yeah. Yeah, that's a pain. That's a pain to arse. Pain. Anyway, we've got this Dimir Control deck, right? We're going to be trying to amass some creatures. We got some, contingency plans, things like that. Proliferate, draw a card. I'm interested. We've got some Gleaming Overseers. We got some Dreadhorde Invasions. All the things. We talked about it earlier. It's going to be a sweet little deck. So go give it a gameplay. All right. Sorry, I got a little too serious there in chat, guys. I know some of you are like, whoa there, Eric. This is way too much for me. I just came to watch some Magic, right? But the Bills got me worried. It really does. So I mean, I want to read over it more. I want to understand it more, but unfortunately, I don't understand the law as much as I wish I did. So, the good news is I don't think EA will let it pass. What the hell does EA got to do with it? Money. I think the right number of pockets will get greased and EA will be fine. I'm just going to keep this double Dreadhorde Invasion deck. Like this is going to. Well, I mean we got Lazotep plating, so we can start protecting this thing. Yeah. Like. Okay, so what if they do say, hey, these games are just, what if, let's say it did pass, right? How would they enforce it? Hey, these games you either get rid of the transactions, microtransactions altogether, or you lose your game? What? What? Like the game just goes away? Would that be a thing? You love this new Liliana? Liliana's pretty good. So what if the game went away? What about all the time we have invested, right? So it also, there's something in the wording there about packs that, like, opening basically packs of things that have random loot inside, and some of that loot is better than others, and that loot is not cosmetic, right? Magic cards are not cosmetic. They're the actual items you use in the game, and heaven forbid you open, you know, Nicol Bolas versus opening Lezatep Plating. Nicol Bolas is a better card. I mean, that's just how things work. I'm just gonna play the other Dreadhorde Invasion and pass the turn. Games have been outright banned and outlawed, and authorities do have ways to find out if someone is doing something illegal online, so it wouldn't be technically difficult. You're right, and I don't think a business like Wizards of the Coast, if they were told, you know, hey, look, your game no longer is legal, and Wizards of the Coast had to back off, I don't think that they would continue to try to you know, force their game. Like, they wouldn't behind the curtains or whatever, like, hey, you want to play some arena? You know, like, I don't think Wizards of the Coast is going to go that route, but, you know, whatever. I mean, swing, right? So technically here we can be at 6 power next turn, right? We can be swinging with a 6 power dude this very coming turn. We'll see. Another issue would be to just arrest whoever his head dev or game producer is. Oh my god! Wow, that would be some serious. That'd be serious, man. I think that I'm gonna agree with Tier 1 Jank. That might be a little much to arrest game developers and such. So I don't know. Boom, got him. We could have Lezatep Plating as well. I want to draw a card here. Oh wait, that's sorcery. Oh, I thought that card was instant speed. So I could Lezatep Plating. So maybe I should have Lezatep Plating there. I should have done it. And he's gonna scoop because we're at the lifelink stage and there ain't nothing he can do about it. And we got Lezatep Plating up and he can't do nothing about that. And we're gonna smack him in the face and we're gonna gain some life and he can't do nothing about that. And we're gonna win the game. That's why he scooped. Alright. Plating is the #1 underrated card in the set according to Tier 1 Jank. Sure. I mean, Dive Down was good. Blossoming Defense was good. Those are both 1 mana. So, maybe. I don't know. Alright, man, this deck don't need this shit. You don't need to run Fountain of Renewal with your Dreadhorde Invasion if the rest of your deck will protect your creature. Siren, Stormtamer seems good. Thief seems good. Kind of like Contempt. I'm gonna run it like this. Maybe Quench or Disdainful Stroke would also be good instead of maybe Contingency Plan. Contingency Plan would have been the other card to take out of the deck. defense and dive down don't make a body or give yourself hexproof. My bad. You're right. They don't. They do not. They do not do those things. Hi everyone, sneaking in near the end, I'm guessing. I miss you all and hope to be back on more of a regular basis. Barry Drake, sir, welcome back. I know you've got some stuff going on and you haven't been able to come hang out with us very much lately, but thank you very much for stopping in, sir. You're wonderful. You're always great. And Deb's doing some gameplay. So we're mixing things up. We're playing not just Deb's deck, but we're playing a lot of the top tier decks and some other stuff. So we've got some more content for you around here, and hope you'll enjoy it. I got the green screen coming. I was working on it, green screen, but I can't get it to hang right without the hotspots in it. So I'm working on getting a rack, and as soon as we get the rack, we'll have the green screen up, and then we'll start playing with some more movie magic and having some more fun. So. I'm sure you'll enjoy that as well. But thanks for stopping in, Mr. Drake. Don't know if you know this, but they're in the business of making money. Yeah, that's why it won't pass. That's why the law will not pass, right? If you're wondering what the side topic is, we're talking about the Missouri Senators' law Protecting Kids Against Abusive Games Act. Sorry, I keep calling it a law. It's a bill. It is not yet a law, but it is a bipartisan bill getting support from both the Democrats and the Republicans. And the big part of this bill, it is starting to raise this conversation. More and more people are having this conversation about, are games abusive? Does this need to be regulated? Who shall regulate it? That sort of thing. So that's kind of where we're at right now. Is we're just kind of having a little talk-see about that. I'm going to play the Saheeli. I'm down-ticking her. I'm not doing anything. If he wants to hit it, that's fine. We'll start making some dudes next turn. Because, I mean, we can... Worst-case scenario, we go contingency plan, make a dude. Or actually, Lazotep plating, make a dude. Contingency plan. Right? Like, so we could do some stuff. Make a couple dudes. They're also desperate for new players, and that's why Arena is so great besides the cash cow. Maybe. Like, I get that Arena is a cash cow. Anything with microtransactions and a player base is going to be a cash cow, but and of course they're going to milk it, right? Like, you can't just call something a cash cow because it's making money. You got to call it a cow because they're going to milk it. And damn it, there goes our Saheeli. This is why Vraska's so good, guys. This is why Vraska is playable right now. One of the best cards in Standard right now. Quote, Sideboardmtg 2019. Damn. We needed some stuff to happen there, guys. I guess we just play a dude. Right? Now we got the Menace thing going on. We need another Black Sorcerer. We can't play Angrath. Like, we're kind of stuck off of Angrath. So, more games need to be like Rocket League. Seriously. You love that game? Or would it appear the real workaround would be to somehow market the game to adults, like print naked girls in it or something? Well, no. Why you gotta say print naked girls? Why ain't it print naked guys? Right? See the problem we're getting into now? Right? So then you end up into the PC area. Magic's already slightly marketed towards, more adults, but it's also rated, what, E for everyone? I don't even think it's rated M for mature. So I don't know. I'm going to proliferate. Because because I want to draw another card so bad, and it needs to be a land. I will pay 2 life to have this come in untapped. Come on, come on. Oh, that is not what we needed. Lazatep Plating, you're my only hope. Be my Obi-Wan. I'm doing it. We're firing off the Lazatep Plating because this has got hexproof. He can't target it anyway. So, yeah. Just going to fire off this Lazatep Plating. I want to kill this Baraska. If I don't kill the Baraska, I'm not safe to get a Thief of Sanity down. So, yeah, we're doing it. We're doing it. Yay. Here's your thoughts on the bill. As a resolution, the games like Arena or whatever could be made to have a separate account like a free one and then a paid account. That's how it was with RuneScape, you think? Well, fair enough. I think... Like, I don't really know how we would fix it, and I don't know about all of that. And that's not what I'm worried about, is how we would fix it. I'm just worried if, does my game fall into the category, right? Will our game be affected by the bill if the bill were to be passed into law? If the bill were to be passed into law, like what would happen? Like, and that's where I'm at. Like, I'm just worried about that. Like, if my game were to be passed into law, or if the bill were to be passed into law, is Magic the Gathering and Magic Arena affected? If it is affected, then what the hell do we do there, right? Like, I don't know, guys. Like, I don't know. It's... I guess we push the Vraska's contempt thingy, right? Like, make him do something about this God Eternal Cabinet. Because God Eternal Cabinet will do work. He just leaves us alone. We'll do something. There goes Liliana. You don't think Arena is a problem, but there. So I don't think Arena is a problem. There's a ton of other games out there that are so much deeper into this category, that are so much more toxic to the community, that like prey on people to actually like have to sink money in, and they try to trick kids into spending money. There are games out there, and those are the games that have caused this type of situation to arise, right? Those, is there a reason we don't block? Moment of craving. I mean, was that a bluff? I mean, did he bluff me? He scooped! We hit the second black source. We're going to play the Liliana. He knew it. It's over. Woo! Spiked eggnog going down. Alright, whatever. Sorry. I've been so excited lately. This is so much fun. Alright, so... Alright. Let's talk about this deck really quick. I'll go back and catch some things that were said in chat. Guys, quit running this shit. Fountain of Renewal. Dreadhorde Invasion. You don't need the Fountain of Renewal to keep yourself alive. Play Magic and play with good cards. Like, I wouldn't... At no point would I have wanted to draw this. At no point in those games did I want to draw this. Like, quit playing this. This is not what you want to do. This is the same type of card that we put in decks when we're going, oh, I don't want to plus Liliana and mill 2 cards off the top of my library because I'm afraid that I'll mill something that I'll want. You weren't going to get the card anyway, right? Like, just, you don't need it. You don't need it. If you kill yourself with your own Dreadhorde Invasion, then the rest of your deck was broke anyway. Get off the get off the fountain. You don't need it. Other than that, I love this deck. This deck worked great. I mean, we were able to play. We were able to play a threat. We had cards like Lazotap plating to be able to protect our Dreadhorde invasion army. Right, our invading army. We were able to protect the invading army. We were able to use even the contingency plan to actually um, pump the army. Like that was okay too. Like I'm not huge on this, but it says draw a card, right? So at least the card's neutral, right? So I tap some mana, I draw a card, I put another counter on my Dreadhorde invasion, I get another counter on one of my other things. Like okay, cool, fine, right? I don't think the deck needs it, but last step plating was actually really good. It helps you protect against things that would be trying to destroy you. Um, like hell, you could run some mainboard negates or something, some thought erasers. This is a green, this is a blue-black deck, right? Get rid of these, throw some thought erasers in there, or better yet, get rid of the contingency plan, throw thought eraser in there. I mean, you would still get the card advantage because like your card takes their card, and then you scry. Like so, it's not actually an advantage, but you are guaranteeing a 1-for-1, which is card parity, and that helps too. So I don't know. All in all, though, Amass has impressed me like every single time I play the Amass decks. I like them. I do. I like the Amass decks. It's a fun mechanic. Your dude keeps getting big. Like if you want to make big dudes, then you make big dudes. You know. 4 free slots. Might as well play a 56 card deck. That's right. Play Opt instead. You got enough blue. Play Opt. You can be on a 56 card deck. Yeah. Anyway, so all in all, the Amass deck was pretty sweet. Like I know we didn't actually give it as much time as we got the others because the deck just performed, and we did some whoop down, like some whooping on some people, and went from there. But yeah. All right, so back to answering some stuff in chat here. Let me go back because I think Mr. Drake said something. We'll start from around there. Thanks to everyone, Jank and Madness. Yeah, you think your dev's top sub? He used to be a server in a restaurant and thought about how much you appreciated those folks. So that, yeah, well, he did work in the food business for a while, and man, I do not envy that at all. You missed it, Mr. Drake. We were kind of picking because if you're watching Dev's decks lately, he made about as many punts as I do on a regular basis. So it's good to know that he's not like that he is human. There we go. So mistakes are made, and it happens. But luckily, his community hasn't been too hard on him about it. So it just lets me know that hey, oh thank God, I'm not the only one. I'm not the only one who forgets to activate Chandra at the beginning of the turn so I have the maximum amount of information to move forward. Yeah, it happens, but yeah. You don't think Arena is the problem, but there are probably much more broken pay-to-win games. There are much more broken pay-to-win games, so yes. Been telling you since day one, Amass is better than people thought. Yeah, it is. Amass is pretty good. Deb's too nice of a guy to be hard on him. Yeah, he seems great, right? And come on, I mean, he's got fish, which, like, I'm a cat person. Like, I got a cat. Like, I like cats, but I'm not like big on cats. I'm actually bigger on the fish. Like, I like Beta better than I like any of his other pets. Like, I am huge on fish. I have a huge tank that I was thinking about putting up behind me, but we're gonna go green screen instead. But yeah. So he's got a fish. He's got to be a good guy. He has a fish, right? Fish don't like just anyone. They won't let anyone be their masters. Alright, you got me. You had 2 hamsters once. They were both male. It was not a fun experience. What? Yes, we all screw up real time. It happens, Mr. Drake. It does. It's posted. Upvote me, dudes. Alright, Mr. Franklin has posted a deck over on the Sideboardmtg subreddit. Go over and check him out. Don't forget, guys, like if you want to get in on the Sideboardmtg subreddits, you can do that. Mr. Drake, I know that you are IT, and you're probably not as big on the law as some other things, but either way, the conversation we have been having is will the the bill that they're trying to pass, would it affect Magic Arena? Do you think it would affect Magic Arena or not? One more time, I will post that link for you guys if you want to go check out the actual bill by Senator Hawley. I think that's how you pronounce his name. But yeah. All right, so I need to pull up the bill. Right. Okay, so we're going to pull up the bill. I just posted it in chat for anyone who wants to look at it. And it says, a bill. I'm not going to read the whole thing here. But apparently we're supposed to go to Section 2. So where is Section 2 here? Section 1. All right, so let's find Section 2. Section 1 pretty much talks about what would be included versus exclusion. Talks about, exclusion, such a term shall not include a payment, whatever. Let's go to. Man, I hate reading laws. Like, the wording's always so crap. All right, so that's Section 3. So I got too far ahead. Where is Section 2? Okay, so maybe this is where we need to be. Where does Section 2 start? Section 2, definitions. In this act, commission. The term commission means the Federal Trade Commission. Okay. Interactive digital entertainment product. In general, the term interactive digital entertainment product means a program such as a video game that is accessed by a connected device and provides an interactive entertainment experience for the user. Okay, so Magic is a video game. Moving on. All right, so it does fall into that. Exclusion. Such terms shall not include a program if a user interaction with the program is limited to selected options from a menu of choices. No, you are not limited to selected options unless you want to say there's only this many cards. They might get away with that. They might be able to argue that. It's just a really big menu. So maybe, right? Like, there's going to be a lot of vague things right here. You have studied some law and you're familiar with healthcare than anything else except for the family code. You'll check it and offer your opinion in the future. Well, thank you very much, Mr. Drake. I'm begging people smarter than I am about this type of thing. Remember, intelligence is only relative to the subject at hand, and I have no intelligence when it comes to working with the law, right? I don't try to avoid them, but I don't actively seek out lawsuits and things like that. So, but what I am worried about is, does my game fall into this category? Do we have to worry about this as a Magic community? Should we try to fight it as a Magic community? Like, if this is something that will affect us, then we need to either fight it or we either need to fight for our game, saying that, hey, our game shouldn't be part of that, which I think there's going to be a lot of communities that may end up doing that. So, literally, it will get picked apart for that exact reason. Right. The fact that you can say, oh, well, this game's got, okay, we've got 700 cards. That's technically like, you can only play in those choices. We have other game types that require even less choices, like you could play Pauper and you can only pick from these choices. And those, well, how do you get those cards? So you mean you have to actually pay money or spend time in order to actually unlock all the choices on the menu? Like, there's going to be a lot of ways you can argue this. So, all right, moving on. The program would not be considered a game by a reasonable user. I think our program is considered a game, right? Digital game distribution means that it actually goes out to more than 1,000 people, annually. Yes, it's a digital game distribution. The game publisher means a person or a commercial for commercial purposes, interstate or foreign commerce develops and finances that develop. Yeah, okay, so again, more than 1,000 users. They have more than 1,000 paying customers. Bam, they're a game publisher. Minor-oriented. Here we go. The term minor-oriented video game means an interactive digital entertainment product for which the target audience is individuals under the age of 18 as may be demonstrated by a subject matter for the product, the visual content of the product, the music or audio content of the product. Any lawyer is going to be able to go out and go, when they first started making Arena, how many people on the Arena, like how many people that were pitching for the game said, right, we're in coffee time now. How many people in the game said, but the animations will help us get the newer, younger crowd, right? How hard would it be to go back and find someone saying that about Arena that probably shouldn't have said that at the given time, right? We know that Arena is marketed towards the younger crowd. We know that. That's why it has the effects it has. That's why everything's flashier. That's why everything moves quicker. That's why we ended up with best of one in the first place, is because we were aiming at a younger crowd. That's going to be hard to argue, right? Oh, are there going to be biscuits? I don't know. I've got coffee, but like, you can go find some cookies. We'll have some cookies or biscuits wherever the hell you're from, Mr. Aiden. If you're English, then it's a biscuit. All right, the age of the characters are models in the product. Now, granted, they could show some art and be like, look, you think we're advertising this for kids? Look at the tits on her. Sorry. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have went there. Forgive me. But, yeah. You're from Seattle. All right. So maybe we could say we're not marketing for kids, right? Like, so there can be some arguments, right? And that'd be the big one, is for Magic to say, hey, we're rated M for mature. We are not after kids. We're not looking for the under 18 market. The majority of our players are X age and up, which I want to say the majority of people who play Magic are 21 and up until Arena started. That might have thrown the numbers off by a metric ton. I don't know. But anyway, the presence of the product, celebrities who are under the age of 18 or celebrities who appear to individuals under the age of 18. Well, we don't have streamer celebrities that are young, so I don't know of any streamers that are 16, 17 years old and that are doing this. So, do they change the rating then to M? I don't know. Like, does that save them? Do you automatically get out of this if all of a sudden, bam, hey, we re-rated our game. We're now M for mature. Open up the cash cow. Start milking again. We're safe. Like, do we get that? Like, hey, look, we're not trying to sell this to kids. We don't want the kids. We want the parents, right? I don't know. Right. Mature rating is 17 plus. MTGA would have to get the adult. Oh, rated A for adults. Yikes. No one wants that rating. I don't think anyone wants that rating. Alright. The content of materials used to advertise the product and the platforms on which such materials appear. So where's MTGA buying their advertising, right? Like, so if this goes into effect, are you going to have multiple lawyers out there going, hey, we'll take that lawsuit against Wizards of the Coast? There's a new bill passed. We should be able to get Wizards of the Coast to either, to, like, I don't know. Like, are there going to be, like, individual lawsuits against companies that are game developers saying, hey, you are doing this. We're going to sue you for being outside of it. Like, is that illegal? Can people do that? I want to say yeah. I want to say someone could. And Wizards doesn't rate this game. A separate committee would rate the game. Correct. Yes. There is a committee that rates games. So, would they have to say, hey, look, it's not our target audience? But I want to say that games have to submit for which rating they're going after, and then they're given that rating or not by the committee. So I don't know. I don't know exactly how that works either. So the content of any advertising materials that appear in the product, other reliable imperial evidence relating to the commission of an audience of the product, or the audience of the product as intended by a publisher or a distributor of the product, or other evidence demonstrating that the product is targeted at individuals under the age of 18. So as soon as someone found one statement by anyone in any type of position in Wizards of the Coast that said, yes, we made Arena and it's all flashy because it'll get in the new people, and then those new people will help trickle down into our MTGO and into Paper Magic, and we'll have more people playing Paper Magic and more people playing MTGO because Arena is flashy, and we'll get the new kids. I want to say that was said, man. I want to say that I heard that said. Did it come out of the right people's mouths? That damn Wizards. Will Wizards be damned for those old statements? I don't think this passes at all, but it's still a great hypothetical, right? Add-on transitions in general. The term add-on transitions means, with respect to the interactive digital entertainment product, a payment to the game publisher of an interactive digital entertainment product, an affiliate of the publisher, or any other. So if you pay money for anything to someone that's associated with the game, right? That is an add-on transaction. That is how that is. That is what that means here. So, an in-game proxy for money, or an in-game proxy for money. Oh, you're not buying it with money. You're buying gems, and then you're spending those gems for that. Bam. All right, so that, not getting around that one, right? People can sue for anything, especially here in California. Preliminary hearings filter out a lot of the bogus claims. Then it starts getting into the paying money for truth. Yeah. Yes, sir. Yeah. That's what's scary. That's also what protects us, right? Because EA is going to pay enough people that this never goes into effect. All right. Yeah. Yeah, that would screw manatraders. What do you mean? I don't see how manatraders falls into this at all. Right? Like, manatraders ain't selling you anything. Or service. You don't get to keep anything. You're not buying anything. One person who purchases $10 worth of manatraders has the exact same access that another person that purchases manatraders. Then they can't sell tickets anymore. But as far as the rental service goes, I don't think it hurts anything. But they're also not doing anything random. So anyway, so now we know what an add-on transaction means. So let's see what it says about add-on transactions. Right. So basically anything that can be purchased with money that unlocks a feature of the product, adds to or enhances the entertainment value of the product. So if you've got to pay to unlock a feature, well, you've got to pay gems if you want to draft. Well, I'm finding it hard that Arena doesn't fit under this. I'm finding it hard that somebody couldn't tie Arena to this, right? Tie Magic to it in general. So let me make this statement. I haven't continued to go down through here, and we're not going to. Yeah, right. Goodbye all DLC for all games. You guys are getting really close to seeing what I'm actually worried about this bill for. This bill is so vague that even a game like Magic the Gathering, even a game like Magic Online, yeah, well, they're actually targeting Candy Crush. Candy Crush was like specifically mentioned by Senator Hawley. So, like that's kind of what I'm getting at here. Magic's a pretty innocent game, guys. All right, it's just barely touching into any of the predatory aspects, right? They're just barely touching into it. They even tried to make sure they weren't kind of predatory by offering the free-to-play thing and stuff like that. And if Magic itself is going to be hurt by this bill, how many of our other games that are just decent games will be hurt by it too, because they have something like, hey, for those that want, they can purchase the premium thing. Does World of Warcraft get hit because, hey, if you want to play WoW, you got to pay a monthly subscription? But then again, that ain't really hidden, right? And now you can actually buy a monthly subscription, sell that in-game token for in-game gold, use that in-game gold to get a new piece of gear that would technically give you an advantage against the person who didn't have that gold. Holy shit, they could shut down WoW. Alright. Go to the page 11. It defines loot boxes. Alright. You guys get where I'm saying, though? This bill, with as vague as it is, could damn near destroy the gaming market altogether. This is a conversation that I think we need to have, and I think more gamers need to be on this conversation, because if we want to deal with something like loot boxes, then we need representatives to protect our gaming companies, right? Is EA going to be the heroes? Are they going to save all the other games? Yeah, well, EA is going to be the big fighter here, right? EA is going to be the big fighter against this, because we all know FIFA is pay to win, right? Like you got to open your loot boxes, you got to get things. Like we know that that's how it is. So, as evil as predatory practices are, like loot boxes, the bill is a cancer that, oh my God, I can't believe we have to root for EA. You guys get it, all right? Welcome to my dilemma, right? The big bad enemies, FIFA, EA, the ones who started it all. Yeah. Right, alright, so Aiden's got a good point right here. Vague bill goes up against a lawsuit. A judge makes a determination that more clearly defines it. The cycle continues. Exactly, and then every game has to fight their way through this bill if it does get turned into a law, and then defines each aspect of this bill one step at a time, over and over and over, until there's been enough lawsuits that every aspect of the bill had been defined into a more amended law, right? We amend laws all the time. Amendments are made. That's kind of how things work, right? Again, I'm not a lawyer. I don't know how this is going to work, but yeah. Let's talk about loot boxes real quick. The term loot box means an add-on transaction to an interactive digital entertainment product that, alright, so anything you paid money for, or you paid an in-game currency that was bought with money, alright? That is a loot box. But the loot box has to fall under certain things. Alright, the term loot box means an add-on transaction that in a random or partially random fashion, bam, they got magic, unlocks a feature of the product. Alright, so magic doesn't, our loot packs don't unlock features, right? But if you could pull a draft coin out, right? Like you had the rare chance to pull a draft coin, and then you could get a free draft with something that you got in a pack, that would be potential, unlocking a feature, right? Because paying for a draft means paying to unlock a feature. Alright. Adds to or enhances the entertainment value of the product. Do we not think that buying packs to build a deck gives us a better deck that will add to our entertainment value? Do you want to keep playing the free-to-play deck, or do you want to go play a tier 1 deck? Or do you want to play something that you want to play because you think this idea is cool, and you're going to go buy packs until you get the cards you need to finish your idea in your deck? We're not even playing tier 1 anymore. We're playing your idea. So that would enhance your entertainment experience, right? Can we get a game after this? This is so depressing. I need to pick me up. Yeah, we'll go play Mono Red Pauper or something. I don't know. Allows the user to make one or more additional add-on transactions. Okay, so you get a free roll, right? That the user could not have made without making the first add-on transaction. Okay, so buying a chest of gems would allow you to make additional add-on transactions that you wouldn't be able to buy. So the chest of gems is a loot box, right? Okay, so we know that gems are concerned, like anything bought with gems is an add-on transaction. This says that a loot box is anything that if you allows the user to make one or more additional add-on transactions. So if you buy a chest of gems, then you use those gems to make additional add-on transactions. Therefore, that chest of gems is now a loot box. Okay, so you cannot sell gems or chests of gems anymore. The content of which is unknown to the user, and the contents of which is unknown to the user until after the user has made the first add-on transaction. No, you have no clue what's in the pack until after you open the pack. You don't know. Also, when you jump into that draft, you don't know what you're drafting until you crack open the pack. Until after that purchase is made, you don't know what you're drafting. It's going to be real hard to say Magic doesn't fall into this, right? Oh my goodness. Right? It's midnight. I'm not going to play anymore. Madness has a wonderful idea. I want to send every one of you over to Dev. He just put out a deck tech on a turn 3 win in a Naya aggro deck. I'm interested in it. As soon as I get done here, I am going to go refill my old coffee cup and I'm going to go watch a video on Dev. I want all of you to please just check out this bill. Read it for yourself. Decide whether or not it affects Magic the Gathering, the game that you love. Decide whether or not it affects other games you love. And then we need to figure out what we need to do to either protect our games or go from there, right? Tier 1 Jank, awesome, dude. There's the link to Dev's latest video. Everyone, if you like tonight's show, I know we did a little bit of ranting. It's SubSunday. It's kind of where I hang out with you guys, where we do some craziness like this. I hope everyone enjoyed it. You guys are all wonderful. So, like, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, do the thing. If you want to hit join here on YouTube, if you want to help out over on Patreon, you can do that. You can throw me a buck there. That's it. That's all I've got. Everyone, stay awesome. Have a great night. We'll see you next time here on Sideboard MTG.